Redditors, who had arranged marriage, was sex awkward initially? How did you break the ice? My parents and aunt arranged the marriage for me, and I traveled back to my country, met her once before the marriage. First night she was really shy, and kept hiding under the blanket, and pulling it away from me while giggling. Nothing happened that night. Then she got a call the next day from her mother, and they kept talking for half an hour. It happened then later that night, when we were in bed innocently watching TV. Then she looked at me, and said maybe the first complete sentence. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in a nervous voice. So I laughed and played it funny, then started gently kissing, hugging, and joked a bit. Then 2 hours later we are doing it, and now I've 2 kids from her, and she turned 26 last month. Arranged isn't as bad as it sounds, but back in my place it's normal to have arranged marriages and even marriages without seeing the bride. Mine was great considering there are parents who wait outside the room to hear the daughter orgasm to make sure she's virgin. Throw away because I'm a loser. Like a fool I opted for an arranged marriage on the rebound. The girl I was originally seeing was batshit crazy, but something strange happens when you get rejected, more so than the hurt. You become incapable of making good decisions. Anyhow, was introduced to a girl. She had different interests, a different outlook on life, and didn't take too kindly to my casual humor. So like an idiot I got engaged to her. Over the course of the engagement I was really busy with work so didn't see her at all. Then came the marriage. It was surreal. There I was sitting on stage with a girl I hardly knew getting married. Most of the fuckers at the wedding were my parents' friends etc. I hardly knew anyone there. Fast forward to the honeymoon. We were like awkward strangers. We actually never had sex on our honeymoon. Was the sex awkward? You're damn right it was. Fast forward 6 years later, and we have a child. Did I make the right decision? If I wasn't a father I'd leave tomorrow. I wouldn't let my parents choose my socks, but I'll let them choose my life partner, the loser that I am. So why am I sticking around? To cut a long story short, I want my child to do well in life, so I'm living an act. Do I have regrets? Don't we all? Am I a good husband? I never argue, never complain and put on a smiling face. Have I screwed my life up? Not totally. I earn quite a lot. And unlike the crap you hear in the movies, money gives you great options in life, and I try to enjoy as much of it as possible. Hi, my first marriage was arranged-ish. My husband family made an arrangement with my father when I was 12 that I would marry their middle son who was 2 years older than me when I was 18 and had finished school. I knew him already. His sister was my best friend and he was friends with my brothers. We never talked much till we made our engagement official, and he had paid me my ma, and in the about 6 months between our engagement and our wedding we hung out, and went on dates, talked on the phone, got to know each other personally. I grew to like him a lot. I wouldn't go so far as to say that I loved him. I grew to love him eventually, and he was a very nice, caring, sweet guy, and treated me well. He supported me going to university. We had a good life together. We loved traveling together. We both loved photography. We had been talking about having kids when I was finished with university. We weren't married very long, only 2 years, before he died in a car accident. I think we could have made things work with more time. As far as your question, sex was fine. We were both virgins when got married. I tried doing what I saw in porn, but it didn't work out too well. But like all things, we got better with practice. I'm a victim of arranged marriage. I used to live in US and my parents are in India. My parents arranged the marriage. They saw the girl, liked her and family, so fixed the marriage. They told me after they did everything. She was beautiful and educated, so I didn't mind. I did talk to her on the phone multiple times before we got married, but it wasn't the same. Fast forward first night after we got married, every time I wanted to touch her she moved away. I thought she is just scared. She was 4 years younger than me, so I didn't try much. Next day she said she is virgin and scared. So I thought to wait it out. I waited for a whole month as she said she will get intimate once she came to US to live with me. She did come here after a few days, but left without even meeting me. Apparently she has premarital affair. That was the reason she didn't let me touch her that way. After she went back she went MIA for 3 months. After that she emailed me to get divorced and asked lot of money from me. So to answer your question, I don't know if actual sex was awkward, but my whole arranged marriage was. From a Muslim standpoint, I had an arranged marriage, but it really wasn't all that arranged. I met my wife through a family friend. We were introduced, our families were introduced, and we spent about a year getting to know each other. Both of us, at either point, could have decided we were not interested, but we fell very much in love and got married. We discussed sex, contraception, etc. prior to getting married, so it wasn't a foreign topic. When we finally ended up having sex, day after our wedding night, we were way too exhausted that night. We took our time and went slow. It was very much enjoyable for both of us, and we have sex nearly daily now, a year in. We were both virgins, and had zero experience doing anything sexual with the opposite sex. Looking back now, I'm really glad I got to experience all of that with her and only her. It makes it that much more special to me. I met my husband 3 months before my wedding. We went on a few dates before the wedding. How was the wedding night? Pretty nice. Since we'd both come directly from the wedding, we needed to shower. He took a shower first, then I did. It was about 2 AM before we finally got started. It wasn't awkward at all. A bit painful, but not really awkward. First orgasm came a few days later on a train in France for our honeymoon. 20 years later, we've got a house full of children to prove that the sex has been both enjoyable and plentiful. Couldn't maintain an erection when she wanted me to put it in. When I did, she wasn't in the mood for it. So, yeah, that's how it has been for the past 6 months. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to Reddit for more stories.